Did you ever go through something that was so hard that you said, oh my God, it broke my spirit? It didn't break your spirit because your spirit can't be broken. What it did was break the vessel. And that is what this new moon energy is about, breaking free from something that contains you. Swati is about setting yourself apart from the group. The constellation itself, the stars are very far from the ecliptic. So this is about breaking free from the pack. And the point of doing that is because when you are one of many, you don't stand out. So this is the star of individuation. This is the star of you separating yourself from a situation, from a scenario, from a set of beliefs, but setting yourself apart so that you can walk your path in the way that you need to. And you need the freedom of being individuated from the group to be something different. And you need to be able to set yourself apart from the group, go against the grain, be unique, be seen, because your path and your contribution is different than anybody else's. So if somebody's going to hear your voice, if somebody's going to understand what it is that you have to say, you have to speak clearly, and you can't be one of many. You have to be the one. The deity attached to Swati is Vayu, and Vayu is the wind. And wind is associated with prana, and prana is, of course, the life force. So the life force being associated with spirit. Think about when you meditate and you come into an altered state, and that is when the veil is very thin and you blend with spirit. This can be in your meditations. This yin energy can be, some people use marijuana or other substances, but it's that kind of a space that you create where you're blending with spirit so that actually spirit is moving through you. And again, this is the purpose of Swati, is you have work to do in the world, so it's not just that you're meditating to meditate. You meditate to get in touch with yourself. You meditate to get in touch with the cosmic knowledge that is within you in order to have it flow through you. And that's really what Swati is about, is the energy, the spirit moving through you. You are the vessel. So what will happen is you use your own experiences. You use the fountain of your own experiences. Swati creates these playful spaces where we can learn. It's associated with things like video games, virtual reality, science fiction, also dreaming, astral projection. So being in these spaces where we are able to, or we're fully immersed in some other reality, and we have to know the difference. So we have to know, we have to be individuated from that alternate reality. And while it's interesting to talk about in a really hypothetical sense like this, in kind of an esoteric sense, the truth, the actual reality of it is that in our waking lives, we are also immersed in this illusion. We are immersed in belief systems. We are immersed in relationships. We are immersed in situations that they themselves are illusion. And Swati teaches through loss. So while it creates this nice, playful place for you to grow and learn, the ultimate lesson is that it is not you, the person, who is making anything happen. The reason anything happens is because you align with spirit and spirit flows through you, and then it happens. But the key is your alignment with spirit, thus the prana, thus the creation of the space. Some people think it is not a good idea at all to immerse themselves in the material world or to be part of the material world, but that's the only way that you learn. If you are never around people who lie to you, you don't understand what lying is, thus you don't really understand what truth is. If you are in situations where your resolve is not tested, how do you know you have any resolve? If you are in situations where your values are tested, how do you know what your values are? So Swati is about you being an individual and stepping away from group values to recognize your own value. The new moon is a very watery affair. It is going to be very, very emotional. The chart dominants are Pluto, Neptune, and Mars. So you have Neptune, the planet of dreams, entertainment, illusion, the dissolving of barriers, so you're not actually sure what's what. Then you have Mars, the planet of action, the planet of the soldier, the planet of initiation. And you have Pluto, think Hades, the underworld, going through hell, the planet of transformation, the planet of difficulty, the planet of secrets, the planet of things that aren't seen. So you have illusion being cast. Then you have the reality of you've seen the illusion, what are you going to do with it now? And then you have the transformation, the change that occurs, because we never, after we go through hell, we don't emerge the same person. So you have this transformation. So at this point, you have an element of control, but Pluto also takes control away from you. We're coming up on eclipse season, so this is an opportunity for you to still be in control, because when the eclipses come in, things come out, and you have no element of control. It just happens. So preceding eclipses, the universe gives you a lot of opportunity to handle things on your own. Otherwise, the universe will just take care of it for you and align you on your path. Something that works a lot like an eclipse is Uranus, which we have here. You have of the sun and moon, and then you have an opposition with Uranus. What's going to happen is moon is in Swati, sun is in Swati. So it means it's a dark moon, it's very internal. And then you have Uranus, which is in the nakshatra of Bharani. Swati is about loss, Bharani is about loss. The nakshatras teach lessons through loss. Swati is associated with prana, and then Bharani is associated with Yama, the god of death. In breathwork, it's called pranayama. So pranayama. Each time we take a breath, it's a new life. Each time we exhale, it's a new death. So this is the constancy, right, of the spirit flowing through us. All right, now what to pay attention to in this chart is you're in some simulation, you are in some setting, and we'll go through with each sign what is going to happen, but you're in some setting. And in order to step away from the setting, you will be confronted with something. So what will happen? There's a situation you're enmeshed in. There's a situation where maybe you're not running your own program. You're involved in something else. Or there's a set of values you're immersed in, but there's something you're immersed in. And it's opposed to Uranus. So an opposition. And when an opposition occurs, you'll be confronted with something, some information, or the loss of something, and that is going to help you individuate from wherever the new moon is taking place for you. The role of secrets is powerful. Swati is associated with royalty, monarchs, people who marry into royalty. Also, a dominant planet of this new moon chart is Pluto, and Pluto rules plurocracy. What that is a small concentration of power among a group of people, like royals. So watch in the next 2 weeks how secrets about royals may come out, or secrets about power may come out. Now, let's look for a minute about the role of secrets and power in your own life. What's one of the best ways to have power over somebody? Have a secret about them. And the only way that they will not be under your control is when that secret gets exposed. So why don't we more readily expose secrets? Think about all of the things you have to lose. Not like it's a good situation usually if you are immersed in secrets, but there's some reason why you don't call something what it is. There are consequences to calling things what they are. There are tangible losses to calling things what they are. There are losses of relationships, of families, of group associations, if you call things what they are. But lies are part of the illusion, part of the deception. Lies themselves can build a structure, and we get stuck in these structures, government structures, community structures, family structures. The histories that have occurred, the things that have taken place, the things nobody wants to revisit, and they get buried, and then we live with that energy. And everybody living with that energy moves a little differently, communicates a little differently. There's an undercurrent when there are secrets,
and it's unmistakable. The only way to be set free from those secrets is to expose them. But doing so often comes at a loss. And so that's more what this energy is talking about. With the combination of Swati and Uranus and Bharani, two nakshatras that are about loss. But the benefit of it, even if it comes at a loss, you are still set free. Because by exposing a lie, by seeing something that exposes the delusion, then you can be set free from it. Then you can break out of that simulation. Then nobody is casting their illusions on you. You're not under somebody else's spell. You, being set apart from this, can speak your truth. You can be what you are supposed to be, but you will never be that if you live in a system of secrets.
Aries, this new moon energy is happening with your close one-on-one relationships and with your contracts and your partnerships, your marriage, the people in proximity, like close proximity to you. 7th house. Aries likes to do things. Aries is about Aries. Aries likes to be in control. Aries likes to do things. So when you bind yourself to somebody or some situation or some contract or like some condition, you have something in mind. You have some reason why you did that, because Aries is independent by nature. So 7th house things, relationship things, it needs to get you what you want. Otherwise you wouldn't do it. You just wouldn't. Now, what happens when we are in close proximity to others? We begin to adapt different habits. We begin to adapt different values, because when you are in a partnership, it's not just you now. You have the other, and then you have the partnership, and you're trying to make the partnership work. So you do things that are maybe not necessarily betraying yourself, but they're not exclusively in your interest, because you are now working in the interest of the partnership. So here's where you're going to see things. Here's where you're going to be paying attention. Something is going to come to your attention. The reason you're in the partnership in the first place is because it is going to help you be who you want. It is going to help you achieve some objectives, even if it is the objective of closeness, or just having a partner, just a relationship. But you are in that relationship for a reason. When the relationship begins to overtake the people, and you are no longer two individuals working for a relationship, that's a different dynamic. That's not a healthy dynamic. That's something else. You still need to be an individual, and you still need to be who you are. And you still need to have room in any situation to individuate, to be what you are supposed to be. So something's going to happen across the way in your first house, the first house which Aries rules. Something's going to happen with you. And you're going to come to some realization, right? The Uranus energy, something quick, something lightning striking. You're going to come to some realization, you're going to be exposed to some information or some loss. And you are going to realize through that information, through that loss, through that realization, how this partnership you've been engaged in has been holding you back. Not that necessarily a person is deliberately holding you back, but perhaps how your thinking has adapted to the point where it no longer serves your interests. Maybe your thinking has adapted so much where you don't have room to be yourself there anymore because you're adapting too much to the situation. So Swati is a very restless energy, which as an Aries you can relate to. Swati wants to do something. Swati also wants to fight through something. And if it's not working, what Swati energy will do, like Aries, you'll fight harder because you think you can do it, because you think you can accomplish it. But Swati teaches through loss. So you're going to fight harder thinking it's something you can do to save it when there's nothing you can do to save it. It doesn't depend on you. It's not about the thing, it's about the lesson. And the lesson often comes through loss. In Swati, it comes through loss. The best way to learn about yourself is in relationship with another person. Other people reflect us back to us. Other people evoke emotions, reactions. They evoke things that are in us. So when you act a certain way, when you do something, you can't say, that wasn't me. If you did it, that was you. That wasn't you in your polite way. That wasn't you in what you want other people to see, but that was you, or else you wouldn't have done it. Other people bring things out in us that we didn't, secrets that we wish weren't there. We don't want other people to know those parts of us are there, but they are. And other people can bring that out of us. These are the very difficult lessons that you learn in relationship with other people, and who you let near you, and what you become when you are in relationship. So something's going to happen with you that is going to bring this to your attention. What you have become in trying to hold this relationship together. What you have become as you fought and fought and fought and fought, because that's what you know how to do, and that's the way that you thought was going to save it or fix it or help it. The fighting won't work. The lesson is through the loss. And Swati is not about the loss of identity, nor is Aries about the loss of identity. What this is about is you being individuated from that situation, being separated, set apart, to be the unique being that you are, to bring into the world what you are supposed to bring into the world. So it will occur through you individuating from the situation. And there will be something that you'll see with you, first house, that will alert you to how you have been holding yourself under some structure, or some structure has been holding you and you weren't quite aware of it. So with that knowledge, you will be liberated from it.
If you call it